Welcome and thanks for stopping by to crochet with me. Today I'm showing you how to crochet this mesh bolero. It's lightweight, stylish, and perfect for summer or any season. Whether you're a beginner or just want a quick project, I'll walk you through step by step. You'll need a weight 3 yarn. I'm using the Lion brand Kobu yarn. You'll also need a 5mm crochet hook. You'll need a stitch marker. I use bobby pins. You'll need some scissors, a yarn needle, and a tape measure. So I want the front panel to be about 16 inches wide, so that it reaches shoulder to shoulder. So I'm right now just measuring how many chains it takes to make an inch so that I can figure out how many chains I need to make. So it looks like it takes about 4 chains to make 1 inch. So I'm going to start by chaining up 64 stitches, and this will form the base of the front panel. Since I'm writing a pattern for this piece, I'm writing or typing everything down as I go. This is the template I created in my notes so I can remember everything I need to keep track of. So after I finish chaining up my 64, I'm going to go ahead and measure the chain against a tape measure to just make sure that I have the right length that I need, and I do. It reaches 16 inches, and the extra will count as the first treble crochet of the row. So I count my stitches, and at the 5th to last stitch of the chain, that's where I'm going to put my stitch marker. We're going to be putting a treble crochet, our first treble crochet, into the 8th chain from the hook. So I'm just counting down and putting a stitch marker there to help me keep my place and to know where I need to put that treble crochet stitch. Before I do my first row, I type out everything I'm going to be doing, and if it changes, I'll come back and adjust. All right, let's get started. So for row 1, you're going to place a treble crochet into the 8th chain from your hook. You're then going to chain 1, skip a chain space at the bottom, and put a treble crochet into the next available chain space. And you're going to repeat this process all the way across your row. And this is how it should look once you've done that first stitch. You'll have a little box, and then you'll go ahead and repeat the same process all the way across the row. Once you've done your treble crochet, you chain 1, skip a stitch, and yarn over twice to do the treble crochet in the next available chain space. And so as we finish up this first row, this is what it should be looking like, something that resembles a ladder. You're going to have your treble crochet, a space in between, treble crochet, space in between. So this is how you want it to look. And if you're looking like this, then you're on the right track. As I finish the first row, I also have to keep track of what I'm doing. So I'm writing down that I am going to chain 5 at the end of the row, turn my work, and I'm writing down, that we're going to repeat the same thing for row 2 and for the rest of the rows for the front panel. So here we are at the end of row 1, chaining 5, which counts as a treble crochet and a chain 1. We're going to turn our work and yarn over twice, and you're going to put a treble crochet into the next available treble crochet space, right? So you're going to put that there, chain 1, and then skip 1 and go into that next treble crochet space, and you're going to continue to do this for the whole row. Now as you continue to go across row 2, it should be looking like this. Your treble crochets should be stacked right on top of each other, lined up evenly, and there should be a mesh space in between each treble crochet. I did 7 rows of the treble crochet mesh stitch, and this is what it's looking like so far. You should have something that looks like this. for row 8, that is going to be considered the shoulder line. So you're just going to repeat what you did in the previous rows, but only up until the third treble crochet of the row. And this is what the beginning of row 8 should look like. So I'm updating my pattern to reflect what I'm going to be doing for the rest of row 8. So to continue row 8, we're going to chain 48 and then treble crochet into the third to last stitch of the row and continue the treble crochet mesh pattern until the end of that row. So we're creating the the opening of the neck right here, and so you're just going to attach it on the other side and continue to do that treble crochet mesh pattern that we've been doing. Once you have your chain the length that you need, you're ready to attach it to the other side. So you're going to yarn over twice so you can put a treble crochet in the third to last stitch of the row, and then you're going to continue that treble crochet mesh stitch into the end of the row. All right, so we're done with row 8, and this is what it should look like. It's kind of giving bib a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and start on row 9, where we're just going to continue to do the same treble crochet mesh pattern for the back panel. And so of course I'm going to update my pattern and just basically type in that we'll be doing the same thing, the treble crochet mesh pattern across row 9. Since we have the long chain, all you're going to do is do your treble crochet pattern, and then once you get to the chain, you're going to skip a chain and treble crochet into the next available chain space. So it's basically the same thing. You're just doing it into the chain just like you did for the foundation chain or for row 1. All right, so we are at the chain now. So we're yarning over twice, and we're going to skip that first chain and treble crochet into the second chain. And that's basically what we're going to do all the way across, just like we did on the foundation chain for row 1. We're going to do the treble crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, and treble crochet into the next chain space. And we're going to do that for the entire row or the entire chain. And then once you get back to where your treble crochet starts, you're just going to continue the same pattern. All right, so this is what it looks like. Our first row of our back panel is complete, and now we're going to continue until we have an even amount of rows on the front panel and the back panel. So for me, it was about 7 rows for the front panel and 7 rows for the back panel plus the shoulder line, so 15 rows all together. And this is what it looks like when both front and back panels are complete. So for the sleeves, you're going to connect the bottom corners of the front and back panel together. You're going to chain 5, and we're going to do a treble crochet into the first mesh space. All right, and once you have your treble crochet in that first mesh space, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to yarn over twice so you can put a treble crochet into the next stitch space available, and you'll be able to see it as you go through row 1. You're going to always put a treble crochet in the mesh space and then chain 1 and put a treble crochet into the next available stitch space. So that's going to be your row 1 for the sleeve. All right, so this is how row one of the sleeve should be looking. And so we're just going to go ahead and continue that pattern, the whole way around the sleeve opening. And once we get back to the first stitch, we're going to connect with the slip stitch, and then we'll start row two. All right, so for row two, all we're going to do is continue the same treble crochet mesh pattern that we've been doing for the front and the back panel. We're going to chain five. We're going to go into the next treble crochet space available. We're going to chain one, skip one, and go into the next treble crochet space. So basically, stack those treble crochets on top of each other evenly. Everything should be lined up evenly. And yeah, that's what we're going to do for the entire sleeve, for both sides. So I did 24 rows. That gave me the length that I wanted. And of course, now I'm, just updating my pattern so I can make sure I'm keeping track of everything that I do for this pattern. And now we finish the sleeves. Congratulations, your bolero is complete. So basically, once you've gotten the sleeves the length that you want them to be, you're all done. And the only thing left to do is to weave in your ends, get your yarn needle, and go for what you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I feel like this pattern is really easy for beginner and for people who been crocheting for a while. Just a really quick project. And this is how it looks laid out. And this is how it looks styled with the crochet set that I made a while back. So, this can go with jeans, a dress, a bathing suit. It's a classic staple crochet piece for your wardrobe. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for crocheting with me today. If you want the written pattern, it's linked below in my Etsy shop. And if you make this, please tag me at Crochet Dre. I love seeing your work. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more crochet fashion tutorials like this one. Thank you. Bye.